coming to Capitol Hill is Wall Street reform, reintroducing our friends downtown in the $8,000 suits to the idea that there are rules that govern their behavior and protect the country from the rapacious, self-interested irresponsibility that melted down the entire financial sector at the end of the George W. Bush administration. Re-regulating Wall Street after the disastrous result of the deregulation experiment would seem to be a no-brainer. Who would argue against it after what Wall Street just put the country through, right? Well, there are those who would argue against it, it turns out. And Republican Minority Leader John Boehner is trying to form an anti-regulation army out of them. The newspaper Roll Call is reporting this week that House Minority Leader John Boehner and other Republicans kicked off their big effort to oppose Wall Street reform by meeting with 100 corporate lobbyists all at once. 100 lobbyists. I think we've seen this movie before.
In the battle of financial regulation of 2009 AD, an alliance of Republican leaders from the center-right, far-right, and so far to the right you really could see Russia from their houses, fought the invading Democratic Army in the mountain pass of Capitol Hill, Alapoli. Vastly outnumbered, the right wing held back the enemy in one of the most famous last stands of history. King Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi led an army of well over 250. King Minority Leader John Boehner had two options. Either sacrifice himself for the well-being of the big banks who spilt their blood, gutting financial regulation for decades, or watch the government's hands-off approach to regulation burn to the ground.
This is where we hold them!
Choosing the former, Boehner formed a meeting of 100 lobbyist warriors to block the narrow passage of financial regulation.
This is Sparta!